Gotta learn to reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
What it really is a blueprint for top-down control of every aspect of our lives. They use the environment as the excuse that, of course, we've heard many, many times for the whole global warming issue, that we only have one planet, and so we've got to protect it no matter what.
Environmentalism has replaced communism as the principal threat to American liberty.
Well, it really came down to this. As the communists tried and tried and tried through the Cold War and other times to get us to give up our liberties to the wisdom of Karl Marx. Americans rejected that, didn't do it. They needed something to get us to give up those liberties, some major issue. They came up with environmental Armageddon. And from that point forward, they got Americans throwing their liberties on the bonfire like a good old-fashioned book burning. And that's what sustainable development is. It's a blueprint on how to do that. A lot of people think it's just about conservation and development and just about good ideas in your community and how to develop it. But the social equity plank, particularly, is the most dangerous, the most effective of this. Another term for social equity is social justice, a term coined by Karl Marx. And just to give you an example of what they mean by social justice, it is a social injustice for a country to have borders. Does that sound familiar?
Well, they've succeeded so far, yeah, haven't they?
We contend that almost every issue that we are fighting today, whether it's Obamacare, illegal immigration, the Fed, on and on and on, has its roots going back to Agenda 21 and Sustainable Development. And I mean, this is the blueprint on how they want to impose those ideas. It is, for example, a social injustice to own private property. Why? Because some people earn profits from, create wealth from private property, and not everybody does. So that's a social injustice. You hear today, everything is going green, going green. All these corporations are talking about going green. A term called public-private partnerships. And you have really a lot of organizations that ought to be fighting this policy that are supporting it because of that plank, because of public-private partnerships. They say it's free enterprise. It's a way to go in.
Sounds like fascism to me.
Well, it's right out of the Mussolini playbook. But they argue that it is using the genius of the private sector, using the money of the private sector to help build infrastructure, keeps taxes down, keeps down the size of business or of government. Well, the fact of the matter is, as you say, it's fascism, it's government-sanctioned monopolies. You have certain corporations that get all kinds of perks, if they join the club. And that's why you have companies like General Electric and Sylvania. We wouldn't listen to all the wisdom of Karl Marx in the Cold War. We rejected it. And the communists had to find a way for us to accept it. And what they came up with was environmental Armageddon. If we don't save the planet, we have nowhere to go. We're all going to die.